In the middle of the vast ocean, where the waves never stop crashing on the shore and the sea breeze blows on the face, there are people who silently face nature every day. They are fishermen, warriors of the sea, always starting their journey before dawn and ending when the whole sky has turned dark. Today's video will take you along with them, witnessing the entire process of fishing far out at sea. From preparing the nets, casting the nets, to the moment the first catches are pulled onto the deck. A job that requires not only health and technique, but also courage and bravery. After many hours of fishing in the deep ocean, the nets were now pulled to the surface. The heavy ropes, soaked with seawater, were rolled up in turns by a system of pulleys and sturdy chains. On the deck, the fishermen were busy coordinating, their eyes on every detail, because even the slightest mistake could cause an accident at any time. The roar of the machines, the clanging of the iron chains, all created a scene that was both tense and captivating. And then the most awaited moment arrived. The giant net was gradually pulled up to the deck, heavy and tight because inside were thousands of wriggling fish. The silvery glitter began to appear between the turquoise meshes, a big catch. The fishermen joined in, some holding the chain, some controlling the reel, all working together like a machine that was all too familiar with this job. The heavy net was finally lifted high, and then slowly poured down into the hold where the fish began their journey of preservation before reaching the shore. Streams of silvery white fish poured down like waterfalls, resounding loudly across the wet deck, creating an unforgettable scene for anyone who witnessed it. On deck, the fishermen watched intently as a net was lifted from the water. Behind them, the ocean continued to churn, and the heavy black net was the next result. Even more interesting was the presence of flocks of seabirds. They were accustomed to the sound of the engines and the familiar smell of fishing nets. Flying close to the edge of the boat, they took advantage of every moment to dive down to find food, as an indispensable part of the chain of survival activities between the sea and the sky. After the last net was pulled up, the harvest now lay neatly on the deck. The red net began to unfurl, flowing steadily from the side of the ship into the deep blue sea. The yellow buoys were connected in long rows, drifting lazily on the waves, marking the position of the net like an ink mark in the middle of the vast ocean. Each rolled-up net ring is released rhythmically. Deep below the surface, where only a dim light filtered through the waves, the fishing net slid silently across the seabed. The strong ropes connected to each other in a dense network, slowly closing around it like an invisible trap. After many hours deep at the bottom of the ocean, the fishing net now floats on the surface of the water, weighed down with tons of fish inside. The red color of the net blends with the silver shimmer of the fish bodies, creating a spectacular sight like a giant carpet of marine life floating in the vast ocean. Each rope tightened, gradually lifting the black net bag heavy with fish from the water. The silvery white fish wriggled and glistened inside, some still struggling, some lying still, all tightly packed together like a mass weighing several tons, swinging in mid-air. The fisherman, wearing a tight raincoat, carefully emptied the entire catch into the correct receiving position. The sound of falling fish echoed throughout the deck, a familiar, but always vibrant sound. Inside the processing bay, the fish are neatly arranged on a green conveyor belt, moving one by one, waiting to be sorted. Under the bright sunlight of the open sea, a large net was hoisted out of the water, bulging with hundreds of fresh fish inside. Small drops of water fell onto the wooden deck, creating pale streaks, evidence of the journey just completed. Behind, the black saint net was still unfinished, like an arm of the ocean that had just handed over a precious gift. The fishermen temporarily retreated to both sides, watching the movement of the crane, waiting for the moment when the fish would be released directly into the cold storage below through the circular hole in the deck. In the pitch black of the ocean, only the faint light from the ship shone down on the water surface where a giant school of fish was tightly trapped in a net. From above, they were gathered into a mass, moving sluggishly like a shimmering silver silk strip, moving in the darkness. And then the net was finally open, amidst the warm yellow light on the deck. Thousands of fish poured out of the net simultaneously like a waterfall, rushing down into the cracks of the hold below. The sound of fish falling, the silver skin shimmering under the artificial light, creating a majestic and satisfying scene. This was not just the result of a night of fishing, but the sweet fruit of a whole journey facing strong winds, rough waves, and hardship. Every wave is a challenge, every catch is a trade-off, and every fish a journey. Seafarers do not wish for dreams, just hope to return safely in the hold full. If you are eating a fresh fish today, remember someone out at sea has stayed up all night for it. If you find it valuable, share this video. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next salty journeys.